Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to change some of the preferences within Read and Write Gold. Again, to use Read and Write Gold, you can go over to your dock or into your applications folder to find the program. Once it's open, you should see this toolbar. To change preferences within the program to make it work better for your specific student, you can click on Read for Gold Mac up in the main computer toolbar. Once you have this open, you can go into Preferences and you'll now see that you have a number of options available. One of the main things that students like to change within this program is the voice settings. You can choose the specific voice. Depending on the computer and how it's been set up, there are different voices available. If these are the choices you're seeing, I would suggest Alex as your best choice. If you see that you have, I believe it's Tim, and then there's a female voice as well with the abbreviations UK for United Kingdom following them. If you have those available, those are highly preferred by students. They seem to handle the accented voice a little bit better because as the computerized voice makes slight mistakes in pronunciations, they don't seem to pick them up as much with that accent there. Students can also change the pitch of voice, which I wouldn't suggest changing too much as it gets a little silly. And they can also change the speed of the voice. This is one of the key features. For students that have slower processing, this is very important. To them, they may want to slow it way down. To us, that may sound awful, but for them, that's really what they need in order to process what's being spoken. They can then test.
This is the sample of speech using your current settings.
The voice so that they can determine if that's what they want to use. Be advised, the way it sounds when they test it isn't going to be exactly how it sounds once they're using it within actual text. It does tend to go a little bit faster within the actual text. So they may want to slide the speed down just a little bit more than they would anticipate. They can also change how the text will highlight. The text is typically highlighted with this feature by highlighting a chunk of text in one color and then highlighting the actual words being spoken in another. Research shows that this is how most of our brains work as we're reading text, as we're looking forward and processing as we're reading the actual words. So for students that have good beginning reading skills, this is a good way to support their reading along with a text. For other students, the speak with one word display may be the level of support that they need. This actually provides a box that will pop up in front of the text. And here I'll actually go in and show you what this would look like. And obviously that makes no sense, but you can at least see what that looks like. You can go back into the preferences and continue to play with how this would look for your student. So you can see here. So that's typically how we have it done, is that first preference, just so that students have that visual as they're reading along. Some students don't need any word highlighting, and for some students we want no visual display whatsoever. So you can go in and you can control all of those things. The other feature that a lot of students who start to use this program heavily like to use is control of pronunciation. So maybe it's pronouncing a word incorrectly, a name incorrectly. You can go in, type in the actual word, and then you can type in what it sounds like phonetically. And again, you can listen to these until you know it sounds right. And then you can save that, and from that point on, the program will read it correctly. One of the other main features that students like to change, and you kind of have to scroll through here a bit, is customizing the toolbar. So depending on what the student needs, you can take away or add to the toolbar. So if I have a student who's using a lot of web highlighting for study skills, maybe I want all of the highlighters available. So I can go into this, I can choose it, and I can slide that into my toolbar, and I can then move it up so that it's organized along with all of my other tools. And I can do that for all of my highlight colors so that everything is available. If I decide that there's something in the toolbar that is unnecessary and it's confusing a student, I can go ahead and choose that and take it out of there so that the student's not clicking on something that they don't need to access. The other main thing that students like to change is this color feature. There's a lot of research out there showing that different color combinations use different neural pathways. And so for some students, black and white may not be the best neural pathway to be using for reading. Having a different color combination may work better. I usually let students pick what they prefer, as these preferences usually work out pretty well for them. Yellow is a highly preferred color. Light blues are also preferred color. Again, students can play around with this. They're not going to break it. You can see here that they can always reset to default colors and start over again. As far as changing other tools, I wouldn't mess around too much with other things unless you want to sit down and work with me, and I can take you through piece by piece. Again, if you have any questions on this, you can always contact me. Thank you.